Now let's talk about the good part. All right. I criticized Wayne already, but I want to talk about the good part of the Louisiana show that took place last night. Man, let me tell y'all something, man. This Hot Boys reunion that took place was monumental for the culture. I was so hyped. And I hadn't been this hyped for something at home since the Kendrick Lamar pop out concert that was Juneteenth. I was out my seat. I was like, had my liquor on me, and I was vibing when the moment. So first, Lil Wayne did his set and then walked off stage, right? Then the big timers come out, Manny Fresh and Birdman. That was great to see. They've done their reunion stuff already earlier this year, so but it was great to see them. They did Everybody Get Your Roll On. The crowd went crazy. It was great. I was having a blast doing all that. And then after that, well, first they came out with Gator Booze, I Still Fly. Then they did it, Get Your Roll On. And then a little bit later, Manny Fresh said, hey, so it's time to do, we did solo stuff. Now it's time to do it with everybody. And that's when the Hot Boys came out, BG, Turk, Wayne, Juvie, and they did We On Fire. Let me tell y'all something, man. Like, I could have shed a tear. I literally could have shed a tear, man, because that's something we didn't think was going to happen. And the reason I never thought it was going to happen is because of the incarceration of Turk and BG. When Turk had got out, BG had already went in. Or did Turk get out first and then BG went? I forgot. I think it was like a in and out thing, right? But when they could have did it in the early, like the mid 2000s, Turk was in jail. When they could have did it 10 years ago, BG was in jail, like the 2010s on up. And now that they're out, another reason we didn't think it was going to happen because Turk and BG were beefing. Then BG was talking ish about Lil Wayne. You know, you remember all that. We've been covering all this, right? So it looked like Turk and BG were like the unstable ones, right? The jailbirds. So we just didn't know. We didn't know if this was going to happen. We didn't know if something could have happened to BG in jail. You just never know. And when someone's in jail for a long time, you're not thinking ahead like, man, when they come out, they're going to be doing reunions and all that. Wasn't even thinking about it. But once BG actually got free from prison, the thought came up and was just like, oh, let me get my hopes up. And then the BS started happening. But man, they got it together. They did We On Fire. They did some other songs. They did Project Bitch. They did at the end, they did Back That Ass Up. It was just, man, picture perfect. Because the Hot Boys, as far as rap groups, they're the only high profile rap group that has not done a reunion. They're the only high profile rap group from the 90s that have not done a full reunion. Everybody's pretty much done a reunion. Bone Thugs have done a reunion. NWA has done a reunion. Goody Mob has done a reunion. Wu-Tang do reunions all the time. They do shows together, you know what I'm saying? But we have not seen a Hot Boys reunion. And Hot Boys came out late 90s and it fizzled out by the time 2001 hit, 2001, because that's when the Cash Money as we knew it pretty much was defunct. You know what I'm saying? That's when Juvenile had left. That's when BG had left. Turk had left. And then the incarceration came up, and then Juvenile ended up coming back, but BG was beefing with Wayne, Lil Wayne, and Baby, and it was just so much back and forth. And Juvenile was beefing with them at a certain point, so it was so much turmoil, it was so much drama, and we've never thought that we would be able to. Who would have thunk it? Who would have thunk it that we would see BG, Wayne, Juvenile, Turk, and Manny Fresh had left too. You know what I'm saying? So we never thought that we would see a Big Timers reunion. But we got all six of them. We got the not just the Hot Boys, we got the Cash Money Millionaires last night. For the culture, it was amazing. It was phenomenal. And it showed everybody that you can put your differences to the side to get the bag, right? I want to shout out Juvenile and Manny Fresh, because Juvenile is the big bro. Without Juvenile, I don't see this happening, right? Lil Wayne was down, has always been down, but only if everything is right. I've said it before that Lil Wayne can tour by himself. Lil Wayne can go tour with Drake, Nicki Minaj, Young Money, you know, that whole ordeal. Plus, Lil Wayne is one of the biggest rappers of all time. So, you know, his catalog enough. He's good. Birdman makes money from all of that to this day. From all those big artists, the biggest artists in the last 20 years, Drake and Nicki Minaj and Lil Wayne together, all of that goes to Birdman, player. all of that, plus the old Cash Money catalog. So Birdman is straight, right? But BG and Turk really needed this, if we're being real, getting out of jail and stuff like that, because they weren't as successful as Juvenile and Lil Wayne when it comes to platinum status and hit singles in particular. Like BG went platinum, but he don't really have any hit singles outside of Bling Bling, solo wise. But BG is still that dude. Don't get me wrong, but you know, and BG could have did his thing. But I just think that it was great to see the Cash Money millionaires come together after 20 plus years, man. When is the last time they all took the stage together? Probably like that Rough Riders tour, maybe, you know, in the early 2000, I think. So it was just great, man. You could have shed a tear because it stuck out to us because, man, if you were like me, you grew up on that. You literally grew up on that. They've been out since I've been in elementary school and I'm 30 plus now. So just to see that, it reminds you of a time in hip hop where there was more authenticity in hip hop. There was more diversity in hip hop. They were from New Orleans. They were from the same place Master P was from, No Limit and Cash Money, but they sounded different from each other, completely different from each other. Nowadays, everybody sound, I'm talking about worldwide, people want to sound like they're from one place. Hip hop don't have that, but back then they had their own lingo, their own slang, the way they talk, the way they rap, the production. I want to shout out Manny Fresh. I want to shout out Lil Wayne, of course, too, because without his involvement in his stage, this wouldn't have been possible. Wayne put up with all the BS, and he was the glue that he gave the platform. I feel like Juvenile and Manny Fresh were the glue, and Lil Wayne provided the platform, right? Because they could have did it anywhere else, but to have it be in their home city of New Orleans at the Smoothie King Center, to have it be right there was just crazy, man. Like it was beautiful to see, like I said, man. And whoever thunk it, you know, it's one thing that you hope for, but when it actually comes into reality, it really hits you. It hit you right here. And it was just great. It was just great. I was so proud to see them. And one thing I want to point out is that BG and Turk, we know that they're not seeing eye to eye. You know, this whole ordeal with them, you know, BG mad because I think Turk was on the phone with Whack 100 or on a podcast with Whack 100, and they were talking about BG being a snitch and being a rat or whatever the case may be. And BG even said, like, when they announced that he was going to be doing the Weezeyana Fest, he said, "Hey, I don't mess with Turk, but for the bag, we're gonna be all right. For the bag, we're gonna do this." Blase skip. So we knew, like, if you watch that performance, you could see Turk and BG, like, they weren't really rocking with each other like that. But you weren't able to see the division unless you really paid attention. When I say that, I mean, you know, Lil Wayne had his arm around Juvie, Juvie had his arm around Wayne, and at times BG had his arm around Wayne. You know what I'm saying? Like, the thing is, Turk is cool with BG. I'm sorry, Turk is cool with Lil Wayne and Juvenile, right? BG is cool with Lil Wayne and Juvenile. But BG, and so as long as you got that going on, everybody's straight, right? They would circle around each other. They would mimicking the verses, reciting each other's lyrics. But that's it. But that's okay. That's fine. That's enough. 3-6 Mafia don't see eye to eye either. You know, DJ Paul and Juicy J. But they show up to get the bag and go home. And that's all we can ask for. Which leads me to my next point. Will there be a Hot Boys reunion tour? Will there be a Hot Boys reunion tour? That's what I'm hoping for. Now, Juvenile, Turk, and Manny Fresh are on tour right now, but I'm putting it into the universe that next year, 2025, even if it's not a full Cash Money tour, if we could get some show dates where we're going to get the Hot Boys and the Big Timers all on one ticket, I want that energy to be spread worldwide because it's time for them to get their flowers. The whole game changed because of them. I tell y'all, the most influential rap groups of all time are NWA, Bone Thugs, Hot Boys, and who am I missing? NWA, Bone Thugs, Hot Boys. Why am I missing who else for number 4? And 3-6 Mafia. 3-6 Mafia, yeah. So with all of them, man, I feel like those are the most influential rap groups of all time. Hot Boys themselves have superstars, Juvenile and Lil Wayne. You know what I'm saying? And for the streets, they got BG. So I want to be able to see a tour. And I think the question is, everybody want to know is, can they coexist to do a full tour? Y'all let me know in the comments. Do you see Wayne, Juvie, BG, Birdman, because Birdman be shady sometime too, because you know him and Wayne ain't seeing eye to eye or haven't seen eye to eye in the last few years. I think they good though, you know, but would they be able to coexist for a whole tour? You know, maybe a worldwide tour or just in America. Will they be able to do that? I don't know. I would love to see it. I want them to come to Atlanta so I can check them out. But if not, and that's all we get is last night, I'm cool with it at the same time. But I really think that they could do it. I really think. Do y'all think they could do it? I think they could do it. You know, if BG and Turk were able to put aside their differences and perform together, that's all that we're asking. Y'all ain't got to be buddy buddy. I'm not expecting y'all to make music together. Just do events together. That's it. That's your coworker. Everybody got a coworker they probably can't stand, but you don't let that distract you. If you have to be cordial around that person, you're not gonna like doing business with everybody that you do business with. That's Vince McMahon. Good documentary he got out, by the way. But if you're able, the maturity in you, unless that person did something very detrimental, I get it. But if they weren't going to do it now, they were never going to do it. Everybody's healthy, everybody's alive, and everybody's moving, everybody's active. So I put it into the universe that we're going to get a Hot Boys reunion tour, let alone a Cash Money Millionaires reunion tour. That's going to be great. I wanted them to do Baller Block in it. I wanted them to do We on Fire a little longer, but yeah. But yeah, man, y'all let me know in the comments how y'all feel about that. Subscribe to the channel, youtube.com/RedsView. Follow me on all social media platforms at JAYR3D, and I'll see you on the next episode.